Hey, it's your girl, Coach Carmelle. The other day, Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits got together and we were talking about how to take care of our skin, especially after a certain age. And we got to talking about collagen and certain foods that we can consume and even topical ways of taking care of the skin. And I spoke a lot about plants and I even spoke a little bit about meat. But your girl forgot to talk about sugar and the effects that sugar actually plays in how we age and what our skin ends up looking like. Whew. Why would I do that? How did I forget? Anyway, let's get right to it. Very, very quickly, sugar happens to be very, very sticky. And so when there's excess sugar or sugar in our bloodstream, point blank simple, it attaches to proteins in our body and it creates these free radicals. And free radicals are actually very, very damaging, and they get stuck to the collagen and the elastin in our skin. And what it does, it breaks the collagen down and it actually prevents our bodies from creating more collagen. So for those of you who are consuming collagen, right, know that the excess sugar that we are consuming, and I'm talking refined sugars, will create an adverse reaction in your body. It ages us, and that's what causes the wrinkles and the fine lines that we see in our face. And it can happen at a much faster rate the more sugar we eat. So I just wanted to make mention of that. So I hope you enjoy the conversation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. And if you do not know who we are, ladies, we are the Black Coffee. Our lips drip with honey. Sometimes we got grits, but we always have sass, class, and all of that ass. It is Wednesday evening, and we are here for another conversation. And tonight we're talking about your skincare routine. Because, perimenopause, menopause, aging, it does something to the skin, living. Little wear and tear on the skin, what you're eating, your water intake. We're going to get into all of it tonight. And we want to know, what are you using that makes you feel vibrant? And I don't want to say young, because I don't want it to seem like we can't look like we're older, but what are you using that makes you feel good about yourself? How about that? So, ladies, if you can introduce yourself. I think that was Carmelle just talking. So I'll start with Carmelle and then go to Dr. Jemecia.
I'm Coach Carmelle. I'm here to encourage everybody to add more plants to your plate, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. And I coach people who have sugar and food cravings, and we just add plants to our plates. And I'm going to pass it to you, Dr. J.
Hey, everybody, I'm Dr. Jemecia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I'm also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach, YouTube influencer, speaker, author, all the things, and 1/3 of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Good evening, y'all.
Okay. And I am Maisha. I am on winter break, so I am doing nothing but the things that I need to do. And I am also 1/3 of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits, and happy to be here. So, I scroll through TikTok sometimes and I see everybody doing their, first of all, I like the ASMR videos of people cleaning. That is my guilty pleasure. I love that. It looks amazing, even though I should probably
What does
be
ASMR
cleaning.
mean?
ASMR is like the videos. I forget what each letter means, but that's the videos where you just hear people doing something like they're cleaning something. You just hear the cleaning, you just hear the vacuum, you hear the glass, the ice plunking into the glass, clink, clink, clink. It's ASMR. It's a sound thing, and I'm one of those people that loves sound. So I like watching videos of people clean, and some of the people who I watch clean their house. No, I should be cleaning mine, but I like watching them clean their house. And one in particular today, I was looking at, and she was doing this, get ready with me. And I've noticed that with a lot of the get ready with me videos, it's not just, foundation and the makeup, though I don't know all those 50 different things that people are doing. But now it's also, they wash their face, they put something on their face before they wash their face, and they wash their face, and they put something on after they wash their face, and they're dropping the stuff on their face, and they got to do their eyes, and they're putting something, and it just seemed like a lot. Now, I am interested in skincare more. I was when I was younger, then I kind of stopped. Life was busy. But now that children are really grown and I don't have to mother so much, I'm like, okay, well, let me get back into skin stuff. But everything is so different than it was when I was younger. And there are so many choices of things when I go into some place like Sephora. I'm like, I just want to clean and exfoliate my skin. I bought the same thing twice. I didn't know it was the same product. And I'm just like, I just want to clean my face, scrub it, and then put something on, and that's it. But there are a lot of choices. So let's start off with, what is your skincare routine? Do you have one? Do you do stuff in the morning and at night? How many products are you using? Do you have a favorite? And if you're listening, you can also comment in the chat. Carmelle, we'll start with you.
So I've never been one to really have a skin routine. The only time I found myself in the midst of following some kind of a skincare regimen, morning and evening, was when I might have bought something from a multi-level marketing company, agent, kind of representative. They're like, oh, I have all this stuff. And I'm like, give me all this stuff. And first, this is step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. You put this on, then you rinse, then you put something on, and then and I remember every time I would get into these products, I would do that maybe for half the time that the products are at last. If they last for 30 days, I'm at it for 15 days, and I'm just kind of like, and then I use them sparingly, because now I spend way too much money on them to be running through them. Let's make it last as long as possible. But for the most part, no. And I hear people say, oh, my mother always told me to moisturize, and that's why my skin is so perfect. And I'm just kind of like, But some people are blessed with perfect skin. My business partner, her skin is flawless, and she's got this condition. Every time, she's got overactive tear ducts. So every time she even thinks about laughing, tears just fall out of her face. And I said, well, God knew what he was doing. He gave you perfect skin because you can't wear makeup. She cannot wear makeup. And her skin is actually flawless. And maybe it's because she's always crying. I don't know. But, and I feel like, I feel like I want and I need, and I like myself with makeup on, like the foundation and everything. But when it comes to actual skincare, I use a basic cleanser and then whatever moisturizer is around. It could be some kind of a cocoa butter. It could be my hand lotion that I'm just kind of like, look, you know what? Look, I have no time. And I don't seem to break out, have any adverse reactions. Could I have better looking skin if I did follow a skincare regimen? Maybe so, but I'm kind of okay with the way my skin looks. And to top it all off, I used to get pimples here and there, no big deal, maybe a cluster. I used to say I have a constellation going on my forehead here. And since I've been whole food plant-based, my skin has been so clear. And I'm like, listen, it's the power of the plants, baby. And also all the water that I drink, I drink so much water and my skin feels great. And I've always had, when I was growing up, I had dry skin. Then in my 30s and 40s, I had like really good mix of oil and dry. I'm still there. I'm kind of like, I can wash my face and still be okay and never moisturize, and I won't feel oily and I won't feel dry. Like I think I got good skin, and maybe it's because of that I don't follow a skincare regimen. But I'm gonna say that between the whole food, plant foods that I'm eating and the water that I'm drinking, that takes care of most of it. After that, everything is just kind of like whatever ends up on my face, ends up on my face, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you. You don't like my music for telling us that we look amazing. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
When my two were like babies, I sold Mary Kay. Well, I didn't sell Mary Kay, but I was a consultant. And it was, I don't know why I became a consultant. The sales pitch was really great. I was like, oh, I can make money working from home. Yeah. No, because I was not a makeup wearer anyway. And I didn't believe that women needed to wear makeup to look good. So I'm 25, 26. I haven't changed that much since. So I was like, there's no way I can just sell this to women. Like, you need this eyeshadow. I was like, no, women don't. But one of the things that I did like about the products was the cleanser, the exfoliant, the toner, and the moisturizer that you put on after. And I've been doing that anyway. Like I started thinking about skincare stuff when I was like 12 or 13, junior high school. And I wanted to like do all of these things and have my mother buy me this or that or the other so I could, try all of the stuff. So I did enjoy that, but the rest of it I couldn't get with. But I did enjoy the Mary Kay stuff. That was cool. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, and that water, but we'll come back to that. Dr. Jemecia, what's your skincare routine like? Do you have one? What are your favorite products?
Okay, yes, I have a skincare routine that I do not commit to all the time, but I have one, but I don't commit to it all the time. I use Mary Kay. I've always liked Mary Kay cleansing products. I do not like their makeup, but I love their cleanser, moisturizer, and all that. So they have a cleanser, a moisturizer, and a sunscreen during the day, and then they have a night serum at night. And I put that on maybe 3 times. I do it 3 times a week. I should do it every night, but I do not. I've never had any major problem with my skin, but I do have dark circles, and it runs in my family. I've always had dark circles. I just feel like because I don't have my somebody has a lot of feedback. Is it me? Feedback me?
I
I don't know. Let me mute.
Anyway, I have allergies. So I have these shiners under my eyes, and I've always tried to put like something that will make those not so dark or lighter or whatever. And I've always had the issue. So I always try to find something to make those not so dark. But other than that, I've never had pimples. I've never had acne, nothing. And I've just recently discovered makeup, probably 10 years ago. I like makeup now. Before I didn't, I put on lipstick and eyeliner. So that was it. Lip gloss and eyeliner. But I like makeup. And somebody asked me today, like, why do you wear so much makeup and you don't have any skin problems? I'm like, I wear so much makeup. I don't know, but I like it. I like it. I think it's fun. So yes, I have a very loose skincare routine. And I find that I need the routine more when I don't eat right. Like Carmelle said, when I don't drink enough water, when I don't get enough sleep, when I drink too much alcohol, like if I have too much for my body, my skin, you could tell. You can look at me and tell if I'm being healthy because my face will tell.
Yeah. Just an FYI for you all, the skin is the largest organ in the body and it filters out a lot of toxins. So if things are not going right in your body, it's going to show up on your skin. That's a good way to tell if, you need to make some adjustments somewhere in your life. Yes, I get bags under my eyes when my sinuses swell up from allergies. Yes, that can also affect the skin. So I've always had sensitive skin. I had eczema. Eczema is something that eczema and asthma are in my family a lot. And the dermatologist that when I was younger go to would say they often kind of travel together. So when I was younger, I didn't break out on my face or anything. Thankfully, I have one family member who he did. Like it would show up in his face, and 2 of them with splotches and patches and such. But for me, it was like it was my arms and the backs of my knees. But when it came to my face, it was always okay. There would be a pimple here or there, but I do have very sensitive skin. So some of the things that are on the market are a no-go for me when it comes to skin. I have a very loose routine. Most of the time, I'll wash my face either in the morning or at night. If it's a really great couple of days in a row, I'll do both. But I try to do one or the other. I don't use a lot of lotions because I don't like a lot of chemicals on my skin. So I will use, like today, it's just, this is shea butter. That's it. I don't use makeup because I don't like a lot of chemicals on my skin. I mean, I have on eyeliner and mascara, but foundation, my concern is always if I'm continuously using it over and over and over again, my skin can't breathe very well, and then I'll start to break out. So that's not something I just don't really do foundation. But what I have found is that, like, there was one time when a friend of mine, we went to Target, because I was like, all right, let me get into some of this fancy stuff. Because for me, I wash my face with like Dove. Okay, if it's not Dove, then it's I have this cleanser that I got from Sephora. I don't use anything too fancy, but here I go. I spent money on some of these things. Said they had hyaluronic acid in it or something else and all this other stuff. I had to throw them all away. My skin was burning from some of these products. And the cleanser seemed okay, but then the stuff you put on after, like the first night, I was like, maybe I need to get used to it. But after like the third or fourth day, I was like, I don't know what this is that I need to get used to, but it is a no for me. That was $70 worth of stuff that I ended up having to chuck. So I said, well, I think for me, simple is best. I see people with the anti-aging creams and the serums under the eyes and stuff, and I'm like, and I wonder sometimes, okay, y'all are doing all that so that your face looks good, but in my head I'm thinking chemicals. And what are the chemicals doing as your skin has to absorb them over time? And isn't there a better way to have healthier skin? So one of the reasons I opt for shea butter, not saying everybody has to use shea butter, but one of the reasons I opt for shea butter is because it's natural. It comes from a plant. And, I figure that works. I have used coconut oil on my skin as well. It just doesn't last as long. It can be very drying. But I do wonder about all of the things that everybody is putting on their skin. And even if the face looks okay, I wonder how our bodies are absorbing the things that we're putting on top of our skin day after day after day. Yeah, go ahead, Carmelle.
So good point. I find myself in a lot of vegan circles and things. So most of the lotions and potions I've been grabbing have been like these vegan. People are making them in their kitchen and in their homes, and I'm picking them up, from entrepreneurs and things like that. And I'm loving it. And so some of the things I even put on my body, I end up putting on my face, and they're scented with natural oils and things of that nature. So that's always good. And although it's not made for the face, and it's not, it's made in somebody's kitchen. And so I'm not even sure if, like, does this go on my face? When I'm thinking, if it's vegan and if it's all plant-based, then it should be okay. And even some of the multi-level marketing stuff that I do still have in my bathroom, those are vegan. So they're not, animal tested and things of that nature. But even though, just like you, Maisha, I'm always thinking, like, how is my body absorbing this? Like, and is this what they say it is? But at the same time, I can't go crazy thinking about all of that stuff either. I'm just trying to do my best. So that's a really good point as well. And I definitely stay away. I even have a bunch of bars of soaps that I found in my mother's storage unit. Soaps literally handmade from Haiti. And so I've been using those a lot for my body. And sometimes I end up using it on my face. They have a very, very mild smell, and they're not foamy like the soaps that we know are. So that's a really nice alternative for me too.
Yeah, I have a friend too, and I think I've talked about her before. She's a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and so she stopped using everything. And she makes soaps and shampoos and conditioners and lotions. And I like her products. I trust them. She makes them in a space in her house, and her products are amazing and they smell delicious. I make my own body butters. So I will combine ingredients. I have essential oils. And I know that I can put it all over my face, my body, my everything. It takes a little bit of time to do it. And so I'm out now, but I enjoy making it for myself because it's fun. Mixing Made Easy says, yes, there's a better way. I make my own soap from scratch, a total game changer. I thought about making soap from scratch because I wanted to sell it at one time when I was in my crunchy granola mama phase. It takes a lot of work to make soap. So kudos to you. Same thing with candles, but that's another story. Like, the candles in the the stuff that we breathe in. And I thought about making those too, but good soap is everything. So I want to come back to like the things that people use. And if you're listening, I would love to know, what products do you use? Because I want to get into makeup a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. I'll do an eyeshadow, I'll do an eyeliner, I'll do a mascara. I'm always good with the lip gloss. Every day of the week, me and lip gloss is rocking. But the other stuff.
But Maisha, you're another one with amazing skin. You just have such good skin.
Thank you. Thank my mother and my grandmother for that. Y'all should have seen my grandmother, man. Her skin was just like, now she ate like she was from North Carolina. Okay. But that food was a little bit different than whatever they're serving people now, for sure. But her skin, she never put, I don't think she ever put anything, and she washed her face with like Ivory soap and put lotion on. Like Ivory soap will dry out everything in black.
I grew up on Ivory soap.
Same, and the flakes and the dryness out. But that, and she never, like, her face just looked like smooth. I think she was maybe Dr. Jemecia's complexion. So it was just this like smooth chocolate that, and it was like, wow. Now her husband did not quite have that skin. So, but her skin was flawless. But still, I always wonder, like, if I did use like the mascaras I tend to buy, usually I try and buy vegan. I try and buy vegan eyeliner as well, but mostly because I have found that if I buy any eyeliner, it will irritate my eyes. If I buy any mascara, like I can't just go into CVS and grab some Maybelline off the shelf. My eyes will get red. They will get itchy. That stuff does not work for me. So like I said, I have sensitive skin. I have to be very specific about the things that I put on my skin. And it just so happens that the vegan products don't cause me any issues. And so that's why I purchased them. That's right. You have to towel clean to get the soap film off. Yeah, and then you'd still be so dry after that. That's why you had to put all that Vaseline on your body. Maybe it was just me.
That's what no, it wasn't. It was
okay. Then you lathered up the Vaseline looking like a grease ball. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, that Vaseline was everything.
I use Vaseline on my feet.
Oh, I do too. Especially in the winter, y'all. The cold weather, it really dries me out. And yes, the Vaseline comes out, especially in the winter, goes on the heels of my feet, because I'm like, we need you to be smooth when I take my shoes.
Vaseline and wool socks. That is my combination for the winter time. And don't let me forget this, and Dr. Jemecia might mention it, but I just want to say vitamin D, please, especially in the winter, y'all, because that also affects your vitamin D and vitamin E for your skin, especially in the winter. So I did want to get to that as well, and we can always come back to tips in your favorite products. But what I'm going to keep my comments to why? I want to hear your comments now. What are you talking about? All right, so it better not be about the Vaseline, because okay, not today, not tonight, Friday, okay. Dr. Jemecia, what are some tips that you can offer for women, especially women over 40, 50, because our skin does change as our hormones change?
Yes, because we have less estrogen flowing through our bodies, our skin is less pliable, it's less juicy and moist. It's just less of what estrogen brings to a woman. So there are some things that we need to be doing that a lot of women of color don't think about. And that's sunscreen. We need to be considering sunscreen when we go out. We need to consider covering up from the sun when we go out. Of course, we need the sun to a certain extent, of course, for vitamin D to activate. But we also need to cover up as our skin gets older. We need to hydrate more. We need to sleep more. So those are the things that I would tell women who are over 50, and drink less and smoke less. Smoke less cigarettes, marijuana, whatever you're smoking. It's just hard on the skin. Alcohol is hard on the skin. Now, I do say everything in moderation. I don't say you stop, you don't have to stop drinking everything, because probably not going to do that. But cut it down, as you get older. So, and lots of water.
Lots of water.
A lot of water. And of course, there's things, of course, you can eat that will help with your skin and elasticity and all of those things as well. But as you get older, you need to be thinking about that more as far as, protecting your skin. That's about all I have.
Yeah. That's I try to opt for the vegan wines, but I will not ever be. I don't think I'll be giving up my wine ever completely. That's just not it. I can get down with the sleep and the water. I don't use sunscreen at all. I'm usually not out at the beach either. But I know people are like, even if you're not out at the beach, I don't use sunscreen. I have even tried like the off for the spray for the mosquitoes. That stuff bothers my skin. The sunscreen, all of that is bothers my skin. I know that they say there is no scientific proof behind this, but I believe that everything that we need exists in nature. That's just my personal opinion. And so I'm like, if there was something in Kenya to help them with the sun, there's got to be something here that I can use. So what I do is I use coconut oil, because coconut oil has been shown to keep out some of the UV rays, but I can't, again, with the chemicals, that's hard for me. Did you know that certain types of fruits offer sunscreen? Can you please list some of those fruits? Because I would definitely like to know about some of those fruits. I know that berries are amazing in terms of antioxidants, but I would love to know what fruits can really help protect our skin against the sun.
I feel like I knew something along those lines, but I can't remember. No, I can't remember. But okay, so I want to just touch on the sunscreen part. So because I run especially in the summer, a lot, my shoulders would get really, really dark, and that would be like the darkest part of my entire body. So I remember really concentrating on sunscreen on my shoulders, but I would put it everywhere, every place where the sun is exposed. But this past summer, I didn't. I was just like, I don't know how much I need it, right? So this past summer, I didn't. And I got to tell you, this past summer also, I didn't really wear much of any type of moisturizer on my skin. And I was running a lot, hydrating a ton, and of course, eating my hydrating foods, my green leafies, cucumber, fruits and vegetables, foods that are very, very high in water content. And I feel like that dehydrated my skin from the inside. And so not only did I feel like I didn't need the sunscreen, I felt like I didn't even want it, because if I put anything on my skin, again, toxins or whatever, I'm like, what is this stuff? What am I putting on my body? Yes, I can go find vegan and plant-based versions of these sunscreens, or find whatever fruit that offers it, right? But I just didn't want anything cooking on my skin with regards to the sun. So I found myself hydrating much more, even though I was out in the sun. And if I was just out walking or going to work, I didn't feel like I needed it, because I feel like we're so sheltered and protected from the sun as it is, especially when it gets hot. Nobody really wants to be outside for a long period of time. And I'm not saying there's any validity lacking in what Dr. Jemecia was saying, or what the experts say with regards to, protecting our skin from the sun. But I was just saying, like, I didn't feel like I needed it, and I felt okay. Did I check with the doctor or physician? I did not. I don't know what happened and transpired. I'm just kind of going by what I felt, what was going through my mind, with regards to all of that. So that was what I went through just this past summer. I just made a conscious decision: no sunscreen, no moisturizers on my skin. I'm just going to be out in the sun and let the sun do what it do. And I had a good summer.
Yeah.
So this is for Google.
Yes.
For Google. I just put it in. It says tomato, carrots, blueberries, sweet potato, bell pepper, pomegranate, and strawberries are natural sunscreens.
And that makes a lot of sense.
I had plenty of those.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And y'all, no one here saying don't wear sunscreen, by the way. Okay, you need to figure out, we're always here you need to figure out what's best for your skin. If you are going to be at the beach 3 days a week, you might want to think about something. I don't know. Go ahead, Carmelle.
I'm not fucking around with the beach. That sun
Yeah.
is beaming down on me. I'm covering up with an umbrella. If I, like, no. That's completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that I went to the did I put on sunscreen this time? I might have, because we went with my sister and my family. It was a couple of years ago. We went to the Jersey Shore, and we were out at the beach, and I was still under like an umbrella, and whatever tan I got did not leave me for months. Months, until my skin was like regular, all together one color. And I'm not a big beach goer as it is. I'm not one to sit out in the sun like that. It's hot. Okay. So, but
I
if you're,
love sitting out in the sun, but I got skin poisoning once. It was interesting because sun poisoning. Sorry. Sun poisoning. I remember my skin being very super inflamed, and it looked terrible. It looked like a really bad rash. It was just terrible.
And red. It's super red.
Really red and sensitive to the touch. I went straight to. I was on a cruise. Came back from the cruise, went straight to the doctor. He was like, "You had sun poisoning," and I was like, "But I have melanin. Like, how could that be?" Girl, I was so ignorant. I was just like, "But that doesn't happen to us, folks." Oh yes, baby doll. Yes, it does.
it does. Keep in mind something, that the sun here is not the same as the sun on the other side of the globe. And so that's something else for us to consider, the amount of the radiation, what we have going up in our air over here. The sun that we experience in the US is not the same as the sun you experience if you go to Nigeria. And so it might be a little different over there. But over here, I don't play around with the United States sun.
And straight up aloe helped it too.
Yeah. Oh,
aloe vera.
So aloe is amazing for the skin, by the way. Pure aloe from the aloe plant, not in the plastic bottle. Okay.
Right. Literally buy the plant. My father used to keep aloe plants in the house because he liked it. And I'd be like, cut.
Yes. As a matter of fact, now we're going to have to go get some. And I say not the plastic bottle because that stuff is usually sitting in a warehouse, on a warehouse shelf. This is true for anything plastic. So it's hot in the warehouse shelf. Unless they keep it cool, you have to trust that they kept it cool, but it's still in a plastic bottle. So if there's certain things that you're going to do, like aloe and water, try and do either just get the plant or do glass. It's better for the environment. Or Australia. Yes. Okay. That's a different kind of heat. And by the way, you don't like my music. Yes. For those who are of Irish descent, there should be no sun for you at all. That's just not. That is the best thing you can do to take care of your skin is do exactly what Dr. Jemecia said. Wear a hat, sunscreen, and stay indoors. Do all of those things. All right, Carmelle, though, you didn't give your all of your tips. I mean, we mentioned some foods, but what else do you suggest besides the water? We heard that, but you can repeat it. What else do you recommend?
Hydrating foods like our leafy greens, cucumbers, fruits, vegetables, and things of that nature. And that's really it as far as tips and skincare for the skin over 50. So every time I'm looking at these commercials and what people are putting on their skin and all the vitamins and minerals that's in these products that they're putting topically, yes, our skin is our biggest organ and it receives things quite well. And that's why it's important not to take in toxins through our skin. But we can ingest those as well. Those same vitamins and minerals that's in these formulas that we're paying $70 for, right, Maisha? Like at about like even in Target, we can be really fine. We can find them in high doses in our fruits and vegetables ingested and let it do our entire body good. And we'll reap the benefits not only in the skin on our faces, but on our bodies. And my skin is just so soft and smooth. I can make a commercial right here for plant foods, but nobody's gonna run out and buy any plant foods. They're like, "Girl, please."
Well, see, if you make the commercial a certain kind of way, unfortunately, then everyone will run out. I'm telling you, this is what sells. Everyone will want to run out and put more plants on their plate if you explain it to them in a way that their carnal body will understand. Yes, immediately.
Yeah. I swear by it because I feel like I've always had good skin, like I said, but being able to retain it is a completely different story. And
Yeah.
like I said, I don't do moisturizer like that because, like you, Maisha, I'm scared about what toxins I'm putting in my body because no matter what I'm putting for it to be nice and soft and smell nice on the outside, what's it doing inside? I have no idea, and I don't want to find out the hard way. And listen, I don't even wear deodorant. Like I'm just kind of like I don't want that stuff on my skin. And I've been good. So and again, how are the plans?
Out of line. On the side note, we'll get back to that because there's a question here that I want Dr. Jemecia to answer. I have tried all of I have done the crystal deodorant. I have done like all of the all natural things, and normally they're fine. I'm not a person who generally, like, I can go all winter almost and not use deodorant, except for now that my body is shifting. It's like, oh, this is interesting. Like, because don't have to put nothing on it. I could work out and still be smelling fresh. But now I'm like, this is interesting. But I do try to get them without aluminum at the very least. That's my thing. But yeah, I'm like, oh, the stuff that I was doing before. And it's just the hormonal changes that are happening in my body. And I was like, I'm gonna have to go get some Dove.
I'm smelling like a man. Why am I smelling like a whole man?
Yeah, it was not. I would wake up and be like, what is happening right now? And it wasn't like, I mean, I'm not eating White Castle, so I'm like, what's happening right now? Okay. Like, no. So somebody asked, Dr. Jemecia, does sunscreen, and I don't know if you know this, I don't know if you know the answer, but does sunscreen inhibit the uptake of vitamin D?
You know what? I don't know that it would. I don't know that it would. It doesn't. I haven't looked at any studies that say that it inhibits the uptake of vitamin D. But when you're out in the sun, there are other ways that you're absorbing, not just, of course, through the skin, but you're not fully covered completely from head to toe with the sunscreen. So you should be okay.
So I heard from various doctors, listening to them on podcasts, saying that yes, it does. It maybe not 100%, right? Mm-hmm. But it does block it, right? Because the sun's rays is not penetrating through, and it has to get a large part of your skin. So they usually advise, like, for even if you're outside for 5 to 10 minutes. For it to maybe get like your arms and your face and even maybe some chest. And most people don't get that no matter where they are. Certain parts of the country, they're too far away for the sun to really penetrate through, or too close for the sun to penetrate through. And some people, like those Alaskans, they're not going to get it. So it's something that we all struggle with. Certain parts of the year, maybe all year round, whatever the case is. But I heard that, having some sunscreen will block most of the benefit. And we really need to expose a large part of skin for a little while, not hours. I don't even think a half hour. I think like 20 minutes will do the trick. That's it. And of course the eyes recognize it too, right? The eyes will recognize that the sun is coming in, and that's what sets off, or that's what contributes to our circadian rhythm, and making sure that the body now knows what time of day it is based on morning, noon, or night, and what it needs to do to either get ready for the day or get ready for the evening. Things of that nature.
I like that. All right. So another question. When thinking about skincare and thinking about, especially as we age, right? So estrogen, testosterone, all others dropping, collagen, right? Because that's look, we're eventually going to get some wrinkles unless you go and inject yourself with things. You're gonna get some wrinkles. But does that collagen stuff work? Like I've thought about taking. I think I have some collagen peptide in my cabinet, the powder. Because to me, similar to what you said, Carmel, like I'm not going to put it on my skin topically. I'm going to put it in my body and let my body filter it, But I've always wondered, though, does that stuff actually work to help our skin retain its
I know someone who swears by it, and he really does have good skin. He's an older gentleman and he's white. And so I'm like, you look really good. Like your skin looks amazing. He says, collagen every morning. He's so proud of it. And he was so confident that that's why he looks the way he does. I got to give it to him. So for him, it's working.
Yeah, I've had the same thing. I've had patients who I've noticed like their skin is totally different from the same counterpart. Like say, for instance, I have an 89-year-old who takes collagen every single day versus another 89-year-old of the same race, same sex that doesn't. You really can tell the difference. You can tell the suppleness of your skin, all that. You really can tell, but it's not something that will stay forever. You have to continue to take it.
Right. Okay. Collagen stays on the list like toilet paper then. All right. Certain things you just don't want to run out of. Okay. Sounds like collagen. It's so collagen is a and I really did want to know about that because that was one of the things that I was like, all right, I have this, but I know I don't use it often and I need to use it more to see how it works.
I do take liquid collagen.
So I have a food thing that I learned from, again, listening to doctors. And so, when you cook your meat or fry your chicken, you broil it or you fry it, that when it turns brown and crispy, like let's say you had it on a grill and you have those grill lines and those taste good and they almost taste sweet. Those things that when that happens and the heat mixes with the protein in that meat, it forms this really sticky, I forgot what they call it, glycation type of thing on the meat. And when you consume it, it's very, very sticky and it sticks to your cells and it ages you from within. So that's something that I've heard from several doctors. And I always thought that was super, super interesting how that happens. And the same thing can happen in our bodies on a different molecular level, of course. But the moral of the story is don't necessarily grill or fry your meats where it gets to that, although they taste good, right? That's sometimes the best part of the meat. Give me that burnt piece right there. That's what ages us, the things that happens in our bodies as well, and when we consume it, all the things. So that's one tip. That's a preventative measure.
Yeah, I learned.
Take it away.
I learned some time ago, and I stopped getting. Well, firstly, and this is just me. This is just my suggestion. I think that if people are going to eat meat, it should be minimized because our ancestors ate what they killed, right? So our ancestors ate meat, depending on where you lived, though, right? Everybody didn't eat meat, but but our ancestors for the most part ate meat, but they didn't eat it every day, and certainly not for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because you couldn't kill every animal every day. So if you're gonna eat meat, try and eat it sparingly, and if you're gonna eat it, definitely make sure that you have more vegetables or fruits, whatever you're doing, than you have meat. And the other thing that I really learned was what you were talking about, Carmelle, and I stopped eating meat well done because when you eat meat well done, it often turns carcinogenic in the body. So the well done steak, the well done burger, I thought, I was making sure it was like cooked thoroughly, is actually not healthy for a lot of people. That's one of the things that it can do in terms of aging the body. So, make sure it's cooked at a certain temperature, because if you're talking about your skin, but make sure it's cooked at a certain temperature, but you don't need it to be charbroiled. That's not
right. Well, it literally ages us.
Well, certain meats for sure you want them to be completely done and completely cooked, because certain meats, which you don't eat, Maisha, certain meats carry parasites and bacteria and things like that you don't want to get exposed to if the meat is not fully cooked. But you can avoid that by not eating any meat at all. you
No,
go.
I'm a stick to cattle and fish. I don't anything else. That if I got to do all of, if I got to do all that with my meat, yeah, I'm not diligent enough. How about that? As you like to say, I'm not grown up enough for the poly. I'm not diligent enough to soak my hams and my pork. I'm just not, and I'll get sick. So best that I don't eat it. The cattle is easier for me. So yes, thank you for that tip, because see, I don't know anything about that. So thank you. Please, y'all heard her. Okay. All right. Any other tips that you all want to give anyone, or anything that you have found has worked very, very well for you besides water? I think we all agree on that. That has worked well for you in terms of your skin.
I'll say whatever feels good, because I'll be honest, I don't have these regimens, but every once in a while, like I'll go through my stuff and like, oh, this is a mask, and I'll do the whole mask thing. And I just like feel like I end up pampering myself, and it's just a really nice feeling. I take it all off, and at the end, my skin looks the same. I'm like, I'm not glowing, but I feel darn good. So whatever feels good for you can't be wrong. So just do your damn thing.
I love it. Yes, what she said.
She said. And I almost forgot about this, but apparently products from South Korea are all the rage, and my daughter has put me onto some of them. I just feel bad. Like I have this mask, but it's like a snail mask, and I'm just like, the snails. So, but it's here, so I'm throwing it away doesn't bring it back to life, so I might as well try it. But they use very interesting things in their products found in nature or in squid or anything else that
And
are responsible for very youthful skin. And so those products have been all the rage. My issue with stuff is once it becomes all the rage, now somebody's gonna go and take all the snails and put them in a farm to try and farm them. And then I'm like, I don't want it now. But if you're interested in checking out products, apparently Koreans have a secretive market on things that really help the skin look young, if that's what you're looking for. I'll let y'all know how the snail mask goes. Maybe I'll
yes, let us know.
All right, thank you, y'all, for joining us for these tips. Look, I know it's important because whether or not you're putting on your foundation and your eyeshadow and your concealer and whatever the other things are that people put on their face, when you take it all off, you still want your skin to glow and be beautiful, and be natural. So hopefully some of these tips will help you. If you can think of anything as you're watching the replay and sharing and liking, please comment below, because I'm personally always looking for something new that maybe I can try that I haven't tried before. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. We will be back Friday around lunchtime-ish, anywhere between 11:30 and 12:30. All right, just put the notification bell on and keep an eye out for us, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.